What is going on, everybody? Is Alex coming back at you with another video. And today we're going to be doing a mock draft. And of course, in perfect fashion, I made a 3-round mock draft. And minutes after I stopped recording, Russell Wilson is traded to the Broncos. So check out the Broncos pick to be able to hear my feedback on that, because I am instantly trading that because it's pretty obvious the Broncos are going to be trading that pick to the Seahawks. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure it is at least going to be a first-round pick, along with maybe some other picks as well. Unfortunately, as of right now, which I'm going to check for you live. Drew Lock just got traded to Seattle. Well, that's pretty cool. But we're going to see actually how everything is going to be turning out here. So we're doing this live with you guys. Yeah, Drew Lock has been traded to the Seahawks along with Russell Wilson literally 20 seconds ago. I was just like, all right, screw it. So Drew Lock was traded as part of this. I do think that it is at least 2 first-round picks. And, of course, we're just going to ask for 6th and 7th round picks 4 years in the future. We're going to just say it's 2 first along with Drew Lock. Let's just try it out that way. But yeah, number 1, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, of course, after I started the draft with Evan Neal, they just franchise tagged their tackle, Cam Robinson. Do I think that would stop me from taking a tackle? No. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense to, right? It kind of makes sense to go away from it for Aidan Hutchinson. It's hard for me to go with Hutch, though. It is, because there's so many damn good talents in this class that you could get George Karlaftis at the top of the second. I don't think it means that Cam Robinson is going to be the long-term answer. I don't. And it could be an Ikem Ekwonu who's the guy who comes on and plays guard in the short term. And it could be. And you know what? I have a weird feeling that that might be the plan. I do. Because again, when you look at it, the interior of the offensive line, it's not great, right? But we're just doing this on the fly. I never do this, but it's crazy. It's a crazy day today. I love it. But yeah, still, when you look at the edges in this draft class, George Karlaftis probably will be there, and he's pretty much Hutch. And he's pretty much Hutch, but like a slightly downgraded version. He's probably going to be there for you in the second. So at this pick, we are going to be going Ikem Ekwonu out of NC State. Yeah, he's going to play a guard in the short term. He's going to be a tackle in the long. I think Cam Robinson is there as an insurance policy, as well as someone who can allow Ikem to grow and develop. We're starting off unique because I sure as hell don't like taking Ikem number 1 overall, but I think Evan Neal's less suited to be a guard than Ikem is. So number 2, you got the good old Detroit Lions, and this is going to be an easy pick. Aidan Hutchinson out of Michigan. You pull that trigger right away. Ain't no doubt about it. Number 3 with the Texans, this is going to be Evan Neal. I mean, we can just fly through this. Yeah, Ikem Ekwonu is a guy with a higher upside than Evan Neal, in my opinion, just because he is so damn powerful. So damn powerful. But we're continuing this with the number 4 pick, and this is one that I want to talk about because you have to analyze what's going to be there at the 10th pick. Now, with this one, you could look at the Giants, and you know that's going to be probably an offensive and defensive line, right? Maybe a linebacker in there, but regardless, that's going to be probably the picks. And especially in this mock, hint, hint, those will be picks. Then you got the Panthers. It's going to be an offensive lineman, or else it's going to be probably a quarterback. That's just the way it rolls, right? So that could definitely be a pretty solid target. And then the Falcons, they're definitely going to get a corner or a wide receiver or Kyle Hamilton. It's one of those 3. So you already know that there's a good chance that corner's off the board. And now that the Seahawks have just traded away Russell Wilson, which is going to be freaking awesome. I love that. I'm just so elated. We'll talk about that. They could be possibly even moving up, not for a quarterback, because I do think Drew Lock is their answer in the short term. And I do think they might just try to build their roster as well as possible. But they could be going after defensive line. They could be also going after corner. So there are potentially 2 teams, if not 3, if not 4, that could be taking corner in that range, as well as defensive line. But again, this team was known for somebody as like the staple of an island for many years. He made the Jets. And it's the exact same player that I comp this player to. He's 6'3", ran a 4.41. and was arguably the most dominant cornerback in college football history. And I'm not just talking about the AAC. I am talking about against Alabama and Notre Dame, even against Kevin Austin, who lit up the combine. This guy was locked down. Yeah, I mean, Sauce Gardner is incredible. I think he had a 22 passer rating when targeted. Just unbelievable. That's over 10 passer rating less than if you threw the ball in the dirt every play. Please, for the love of God, I know you're going to get mad at this. I will stand my ground. He's my number one graded player in the entire class with a 91 overall grade. That guy is on a different level. Best defensive back, best player I have ever studied. And I say that very seriously. I do not say that lightly. Best player I've ever studied. I love Sauce Gardner. The guy's absolutely phenomenal. Number 5 with the Giants. If you're sitting here, I think you have to go with Charles Cross. Trevor Penning could be a guy that you want to take, but I just don't think the NFL even sees him like that. I think the hype is just there to create some cool energy, but at the same time, Charles Cross is Charles Cross, and you have to be able to prioritize your QB. Brian Dable might want to go after his UNI guy again, but again, he drafted Spencer Brown in the 3rd round. It's not like he drafted him the 2nd or the 1st. I don't think he has allegiance exactly to it. I would love that connection, but not at number 7. So number 6, you get the Carolina Panthers, and KT is still on the board. So I would definitely want to trade back with a team that's looking for KT. And you know what? They're trying to make their team better, and they just made one of the weirdest moves that I've felt in a long time. The Seattle Seahawks sitting at pick 9. And you know what? They have the draft capital that they want to do to get up to this pick, and I need to find them. There they are. They're in the corner, little bastards. So they're going to be moving up to this pick, and they're going to be sending their 3rd round pick through. I think that is perfectly fair. The number 9 and the number 73 pick are honestly, to me, very worth it because, again, the Panthers move back. You're still going to get the player that I'm going to draft for you. And the Seahawks move up. Yeah, you lost a pick. You also gained one, but you're getting KT. And I think KT going to this franchise would be a very good spot for him to just continue to develop and grow. He had some pretty poor interviews. This is a team that honestly takes even guys like Aldon Smith and makes him look into a freaking all-star, right? I think Aldon Smith went to the team. Regardless, the Seahawks are good at making guys who might have these personality issues into superstars. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the Giants passing on him. And of course, the Giants are happy with either KT or Travon Walker at this spot. The guy ran a 4.52 with 275 pounds of pure muscle with 35.5-inch arms. No, is he polished? No. But when you look at what he could be, there's no reason why you don't take him. Like, he has separated himself athletically from every single player in this class. He's even more athletic than guys like Sauce Gardner. There's nobody in this class that's nearly as athletic as Travon or Jordan Davis, which you guys will see very soon. Number 8, you got the Falcons on the board. Kyle Hamilton is here, but also Garrett Wilson is. And we just lost Calvin Ridley for an entire year. Kill me, right? That definitely hurts. But at the same time, it should not force your hand to reach for a wide receiver when you're basically gifted Kyle Hamilton because he didn't run a 4.4. He's also coming back from an injury too. So I'm sure he might not be comfortable yet. The guy's still fluid as all get go. Still is well deserving of a top 10 pick, in my opinion. I have a video on it. I put the Falcons as a maybe right there. And I think that he's worth a lot more than even someone like Garrett Wilson, who I have a huge crush on. So at number 9, the Panthers is sitting there, and, well, they could have gotten this player at number 6, or they could have gotten a 3rd round pick, which you guys will be able to see now that we're in 3-round territory, and be able to get him here. Now, those 2 players could be Trevor Penning, which I don't really see the value of that. You got Brady Christensen, and I don't think he's that great, but you're not getting established pass protector. If you want to get Teron Armstead in free agency and spend the money, go for it. But I think Malik Willis, there's a lot of people there who are trying to save their jobs. The best way to do it is to take a shot on a quarterback that could be Deshaun Watson and hit. If you miss, you're fired anyways. So take a shot on somebody who can actually be the only quarterback in this. Like, he and Sam Howell are the only 2 I can actually believe being franchise guys. The chances aren't very high, but it's still there. Malik Willis out of Liberty, going here to number 9. Number 10, you got the Jets on the board. So, all right, Jets fans, you don't want to go probably a tackle or an edge here. I just don't believe it. I don't. Honestly, the best thing to do is to now invest in your offense. So get some two skill positions here. Garrett Wilson out of the Ohio State University. He can play inside if you want to keep Elijah Moore on the outside. He can play outside if you want to push him in. And he played elite at both positions. 4.3, 840. Guy's incredible. Number 11 was Washington. I did this in the time that, well, the one time I decided to do a mock draft, and, well, it didn't go so well because we had some major trades while I was doing it. We're having the Chargers move up to number 11. And you might say, like, Alex, that's pretty insane. Why would they do that? And for a third round pick, also, by the way, guys, the Jets traded up honestly a larger amount for a third round pick. And plus, this is really good territory to be able to maximize on one of those day 3 or late day 2 corners, as well as maybe a weapon in there because it's a pretty deep class. Also, I don't think anybody's worth it at number 11. Washington's desperate for a QB, but not in this class. They're calling the Patriots about Mac Jones. Like, are you serious? So I think Jimmy G might be a guy that they trade away, maybe a second for. Maybe that third round pick becomes Jimmy G, and this third that they're getting back is able to replace that. You never know. But I don't think that this pick is going to be a QB. And when Jordan Davis, like, everybody's going to call me a hypocrite because I used to shit on Jordan Davis. I'll tell you this. This is why I think Jordan Davis is on another level. So when he was at Georgia, I said he is either out of shape or has a shit mentality. Both of those I don't like. And I was like, you know what? He can't play 3 downs. I'm not going to draft him in the first. People call me crazy, but a lot of people supported that idea. Now, you look at the way he showed up to the combine. He showed up arguably 20 pounds lighter because he was hinted at being 360. But when you look at how he was built, his face got a lot less chubby. Like, you just look at him, he looked like he got his ass in shape. And you know what was awesome? He did. That's the thing. He did. And he put up one of the most amazing combine performances I have ever seen. His broad jump was 11 inches longer than the next best guy. And this is a team that's desperate to get somebody to actually plug up that middle. He could be a 1 tech, a 3 tech. You can even put him as like a 5 tech. Like, screw it. His athleticism is off the charts. And there's just not many people who can be built like that. And you just have to take advantage of it. Even if Devontae Wyatt would be a good option at 17, you just can't let someone like Jordan Davis go to the Vikings. That's also why I traded up. The Vikings would have taken him. So at number 12 for the Vikings, yeah, a lot of the guys who I would have loved for the Vikings are gone. So you might as well take a shot on somebody who's a stud. I have 3 guys in my top 3 corners. It's Kyer Elam, Derek Stingley, and Sauce. It's supposed to be the other order, so I surprised you with Kyer Elam. But yeah, Derek Stingley is a phenomenal talent nonetheless, even factoring in the injury issues. Take a shot and take a chance on him. Number 13 with the Browns. I think this one is, I hate it because I just don't like the fit, but Drake London. You have to get a wide receiver, and Drake London is an absolute stud. He is right now ranked my number 2 wide receiver after Treylon Burks had a little bit of a shitty 40. So I love Drake London, and I think that he'd be a very good contributor. I just hope to God Baker can actually do something, because I don't want Drake London to look pedestrian because of a mediocre quarterback. Number 14 with the Ravens. This is going to be David Ojabo. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Michigan defensive coordinator who came there, and he's been training David Ojabo and making him better every single year. And I think that he knows that he could probably get him for the Ravens and then continue developing him year after year after year. By the way, Wink Martindale is an amazing edge developer, and I think that he'd be great for the Giants to develop Trevon Walker. Number 15 with the Eagles. If Jermaine Johnson's here, you have to scoop him up. Guy tested phenomenally. He's been a huge riser in the offseason, and I've been sending him to this team for quite a while now. Even before the Senior Bowl, I love Jermaine Johnson to the Eagles. He's such an Eagle, big fan of it. Number 16, there's just guys who fall because of poor 40s, and teams get to celebrate. This team has been gifted a wide receiver so many times. It's Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, even Jahan Dotson, who I have above Treylon Burks. But the one guy, and people just don't even think about, last year they offered Juju Smith-Schuster, who was a bigger wide receiver, a contract. They know they tried to get their big wide receiver, and they didn't. Why not try it with Treylon Burks? Like, is he going to be DK Metcalf? No. But he's somebody that can really separate down the field. Like, he has a very slow acceleration. He doesn't have a very good get off. But, man, can he build up speed. and you just watch him in the open field, this guy could be incredible. I think that he'd be a phenomenal receiver for Philly. And I think that takes him away from potentially being an option for Washington, potentially being an option for the Saints here. So I think that's a good option. Washington, I looked at the roster, and your two linebackers that you have there are respectable are Cole Holcomb as well as Jamin Davis. And I'm going to be honest, I don't believe in them. I don't. I think they need a true Mike. And for you guys who used to be my friends back in the day, you guys know what true Mike means. But Devin Lloyd is somebody who he ran a 4.66, which is very good. People got surprised at the 4.72. You're like, ugh, but it was an official 4.66. That is very solid, especially for his linebacker type. I had him graded exactly around that speed, and he's really good in the run game, which this team could definitely use. Now you have like Zeke, and then obviously the Eagles still pretty run heavy, and the Giants, God only knows what they're going to do. I think Devin Lloyd would be a phenomenal asset to this team. Could you go after Leo Chanel? Sure, in the second. You could definitely do that. But at the same time, I don't even know if he's going to be there. I haven't even done the second round yet. I haven't even thought about it. And he tested phenomenally. Could he be that pick? 100%. I just think Devin Lloyd's a day one impact, and he's just very good all around. You have a lot of niche linebackers. Devin Lloyd's a guy who could definitely be a real Mike who can come in day one and just light it up. Number 18, this is going to be a guy who people said will not have an injury tax. I don't think he will have that much of one, but Jameson Williams would be an excellent number 2. I just don't think he's a true number 1 like a lot of people think. And I think Jameson Williams would be an absolutely dominant guy to add to your roster. Number 19 with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is a great location for a trade back because I think Howie definitely wants to do that. That's just the way it rolls. Howie Roseman is the king of the roost. I would definitely look at Kyrie Elam at the spot, as well as Trent McDuffie, though. Because when you think about it, both of them would be very good in this scheme. If you pulled the trigger on Kyrie Elam right now, sign me up. I'm doing it. Trent McDuffie ran a 4.44. I think he should definitely be in this consideration. He still is graded out as a round 3 corner, and I'm not that happy with him. But I think this is the scheme that he works the best in. I could see him as a late first in this scheme. But I also see some other players on the board. I see Trevor Penning is still here, and there's a big drop-off from him, even to Bernard Ryman. And I know there are some teams that are really desperate for a tackle. And I know there's teams that want to take a shot on it because they were an offensive lineman or two away from the Super Bowl victory. That's the Cincinnati Bengals. And you know why I'm moving up to here? Because the people are going to say, why do they need to move up there? Because the Steelers are going to take them. They are. That's just the way it rolls, man. So we are going to be trading up with the Bengals. We're going to be asking for a second round pick because they're not going to give them that second first round pick. Sorry, Howie, but we're going to get that 5th round pick in return as well. And I think that is going to be a solid option. Again, you're investing in Joe Burrow here. Trevor Penning does have unbelievable athleticism. Just check the RAS score. It is ridiculous. At his size, he should not be able to be that athletic. He's a unique talent, and you can't get much worse at right tackle. So test him out there and see what happens. I think that'd be a phenomenal fit. Number 20 with the Steelers. I don't think they go quarterback if Malik Willis isn't on the board. I just don't. I think Kenny Pickett, honestly, they've seen him for a long time. They saw him be good for 1 year. Like 1 year. He doesn't have a Joe Burrow type of extension to him. So instead of reaching on an offensive tackle, there's Tyler Linderbaum here. Get arguably one of the best players in the draft who falls because of arm length. Now you can move Dotson, or else you can move Green wherever you want to put him at which guard spot, and you can have Linderbaum. Green, Dotson, Linderbaum. That's how Kevin Colbert is going to be able to send off this team. Rebuilding the offensive line, which is something he never did properly in the past years, but he did so well in the beginning. Like, he is a legendary GM because he made a consistent offensive line that was top of the NFL for year after year after year. And he just neglected it. This is the right way to do it. Don't give a bust quarterback to the Steelers, or you can take a shot on Sam Howell. That'd be the only one I'd be happy with. But don't take a shot on a quarterback when the offensive line isn't good. You know that the Steelers had their best years when the offensive line performed their best. And you're developing the run game. At least invest in your entire team, not just in your legacy. Tyler Linderbaum's the right way to go. For the Patriots, I would love Devin Lloyd because Kyle Van Noy just got released. But Nakobe Dean out of Georgia, just seems a little too good to pass on. I think he'd be a phenomenal guy who you can use in coverage as well as blitzing. He's hinted at not testing as well as we were hoping for. I think he should still be in those 4-5 range. So I don't think that's too crazy. We're going to do a quick Twitter check here just to make sure that, we're just talking about the Broncos sent Shelby Harris to Seattle as well. So we're just making sure that the picks are not out of line or anything. So I don't see anything coming up here with the actual trade details. So unfortunately, we'll be finding out this after I do this, but I just want to make it because it's really fun. It's really fun. I like doing this. If the picks are different, like maybe Seattle didn't get the first round pick, which they did. But if Seattle gets that second round pick, which is why I'm splitting it up into multiple days, then we'll change that. It's okay. So you guys got to stick around because we'll keep updating it. Number 22 with the Raiders. This is going to be Kaiir Elam. McDaniels is going right there to Las Vegas. He's going to bring that Patriot way with him. Kaiir Elam and Tariq Woolen are two guys who I'd consider for this spot. And Kaiir Elam is a stud. I love Kaiir Elam. Not enough tape on Tariq Woolen to give a full grade on. So I'm not going to BS you guys by saying he is a perfect prospect. Kaiir Elam is a stud. He also fits what the Raiders were going to do. I think I used to send Kaiir Elam to the Raiders. And I think that you're going to have a big need at corner one. So I think that's a big plus. Yes, you could go after Devontae Wyatt, but at the same time, I think Kaiir Elam is just such a stud. Just keep him there. Number 23 with the Cards. You could also go after Devontae Wyatt. You could go after Kenyon Green. Honestly, you know what? I had a different mindset. I had a different thing in mind where I was actually going to send Tariq Woolen to this team. Nah, let's do it. We're going to actually go. Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green. I'm going to go Kenyon Green. I think he could be a tackle in the long run as well. I'm screwing over the Cowboys kind of, but because I like sending Kenyon Green there. But I think that would be the best option. You guys need some help at the guard spot, and he'd be a great addition. Can also play multiple positions in the line in case someone gets hurt, which he did all the time at Texas A&M. That's a big plus. You guys are taking major advantage of a guy who fell because he did not test well. Cowboys are going to be going Zion Johnson here then. A guy who can play center, he can play guard. Definitely somebody who could take over the franchise. Tyler Smith's a guy who I want to take for this team, but I am going to refrain. Number 25 with the Bills. You know what? I used to go Zion Johnson here, but screw it. I think Devontae Wyatt would be such a steal for this team. Travis Jones as well. Devontae Wyatt would be such a good get. The guy is phenomenally talented. Just, you need to continue developing that defensive line. The GM, if I'm not mistaken, told Trevor Sikkema, is like, listen, if we still have a problem on the D-line, then we're going to continue to address it. I don't care how many picks I send at it until it's fixed. And Devontae Wyatt is just on a different level. Number 26, you got the good old Titans. And Titans, I think a wide receiver is your best bet. I think it is. When you look at it, quarterback, you can go quarterback. I'm just not a fan of these guys except Sam Howell. But at that point, I just don't know if you want to pull the trigger on that. You could also look at like offensive line. I think Tyler Smith's your best bet, but I would not take a shot on him. Linebacker, top guys aren't on the board. Carl Loftus would be fun, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it, guys. I just don't see a position besides wide receiver being a good option here. So I'm going to go Chris Olave out of The Ohio State University. I think that's just going to be your best bet. I really do. Chris Olave, he's going to be a really good separator. I don't have him above Jahan Dotson, but, Chris Olave did run that 4.39. He's been consistently talented over many years, and he's always been a very good contributor. I love Jahan. He could be the better pick, but Chris Olave is going to be the right target. For the Buccaneers, wide receiver, they're getting apparently a deal with Gordon, right? Why did I say Gordon? Oh my God. I'm bugging right now. Chris Godwin. They're trying to get a long-term deal with him. So that's probably eliminating Jahan Dotson from the equation. Now, I think they could go corner. I just don't like the guys on the board for him, except Tariq Woolen. That'd be a stud pick. Actually, I very well might go that pick. Oh, this is going to shake up the board. But you know what? I might just pull the trigger on it because I think Tariq Woolen is phenomenal. 4.26 speed. You just can't make that up. So we're going to do that, actually. Tariq Woolen. This is going totally against what I did in my last mock. But Tariq Woolen's going to be the target here. 4.26 to 6.4. You just can't make that up. And when you're potentially losing Carlton Davis, you definitely need to fill it with a guy who could be a potential number one corner. At 6'4", 205 pounds, 4.26 speed, great press. That's the guy I want. Number 28 for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is back. Okay, yeah, I actually have to react to this because I was like, I already told you guys. So we're going to just talk about it right now. He decided to return. I've been saying that for a long time. I didn't want to do trades with him because I thought that he would return. But Aaron Rodgers is somebody who I think is going to be able to make the most out of his team. And I think the Green Bay Packers, when they're in a really shitty division and when they're in the NFC, that is the best case scenario. And now you have one less quarterback there in Russell Wilson. Like, he's gone. He's to the AFC. That was the best decision he's made by far. So I'm a big fan of it. And I think there's rumors that he's been in control of the draft board. That's the case. He's going Jahan Dotson. I think that you might be franchise tagging Devontae Adams, bringing Jahan Dotson in. I think that'd be a brilliant move. I think it would be. Number 29 with the Dolphins. Offensive line is paramount, and that's going to be Tyler Smith or Bernard Ryman, but Bernard Ryman actually probably is athletic enough to play tackle. He didn't have the type of holding penalties that Tyler Smith did. I would love to send Tyler Smith to this team, but I'm going to be going Bernard Ryman here. I'm not a big fan of him, but it is the way it is. Number 30, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go after another combine monster, Daxton Hill out of Michigan here. And the Eagles, I told y'all, Trent McDuffie's here. Perfect fit for the scheme. I think that would be a great spot for him as well. Ran 4.44. I think that his just ability could be definitely maximized in this scheme. I'm not very high on any other real corner in this. Maybe Martin Emerson's the next guy up there with Andrew Booth and then Kyler Gordon following. Then last but not least, at number 32, you got the Lions. And normally a player is gone at this point, or like normally Devontae Wyatt was here and I would have a trade up. That's not the case. And that hurts. It does. So could this be a QB? 100%. But I actually want to look at a different possibility because guard is still a position of need, and also tackle Taylor Decker might not be there in the long run. I know y'all won't like it. I know it for a fact. And that's why I don't really care. It's like I'm willing to go against what you guys like to give you guys what is the best case scenario. Guard is still a big spot to fill. And I think Tyler Smith could be an all-star tackle, and I have him as my number 23 player on my board. So I'm going to go Tyler Smith here. Again, the interior offensive line class is pretty solid, just not that great. Tyler Smith could be legendary. Like, I just love his potential as a guard. And as he continues to grow and develop from Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, you could see him move to tackle and save you guys a lot of money. So let me know what you guys think. I know that last pick is going to be controversial as all get out, but thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. See you guys on the far side. Peace.